Looking to spend a quiet Sunday with good friends and good food? Check out the Ambassador Club's Sunday Breakfast Buffet, December 12th and the 19th from 10 till 1. The Sunday Breakfast Buffet at the Ambassador Club. They'll supply the food, you supply the friends.
From M-Brand to the 32nd Supply Flight,
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year!
And now, the Community Newsroom.
Good evening. I'm Staff Sergeant Michelle Clower. Welcome to the Community Newsroom. As the base continues towards mission completion, units are being combined and areas once used for one purpose are being selected out for other functions. Staff Sergeant Tom Swanson gives us the details on the latest changes.
Until recently, you couldn't get into this area without a line badge or a flight line driver's license. But because the number of aircraft has been significantly reduced, changes have been made to some restricted flight line areas. The Tab V area, where aircraft were previously parked, is no longer a restricted area. Several organizations will begin using the hardened aircraft shelters in the area for storage of excess equipment. And while the area will be less restricted than in the past, there are still some precautions that need to be taken.
Government vehicles will still only be allowed to be driven in the area. However, you won't need a flatline driver's license anymore. We impress upon the people that are going to be out here in the area that the speed limit is still 15 miles an hour. They're still going to be towing aircraft in the area, so they need to be very careful when entering the area to look both ways and yield the right-of-way to any aircraft in tow.
Security police officials stress that only those with a specific reason for going into this area should do so.
With just 19 days until Christmas, preparation for the big day continues. But for our Dutch neighbors, the first big holiday celebration took place today. Senior Airman Ildiko Nimish has more.
The Christmas season in Holland is a little different than the ones we're used to in the States. The Christmas season begins in late November when Sinterklaas arrives. As legend goes, the holy man Sinterklaas sails from Spain to reward the good children. Sinterklaas makes his way through the villages on a white horse. His helpers, Black Pete, distribute candy to the children. On the eve of Sinterklaas's birthday, the children leave hay and wooden shoes for his horse. Sinterklaas stops on the rooftops to listen to the children in the houses. If the children have been good, then presents are left for them. Traditionally, Sinterklaas is dressed as a bishop in a long white gown, red cap, and carries a gold staff. Today is Sinterklaas's birthday, and Dutch families celebrate by exchanging gifts and writing humorous poems about each other, reflecting on the past year.
A look at the weekend basketball action, but first let's find out about the weather picture.
This evening, the skies will be mostly cloudy, becoming overcast and windy, with rain beginning after midnight. The low will be 45 degrees. Tomorrow, the rain and wind will continue, and the skies will be overcast. Expect a high of 48 degrees. Tomorrow night, the rain and wind will die down, and the skies will clear slightly to become partly to mostly cloudy. The overnight low, 38 degrees. Wednesday morning, there will be fog, and then the skies will be partly to mostly cloudy, with increasing clouds during the day. The high will be 44 degrees. Our sun will rise tomorrow morning at 8:34 and set tomorrow evening at 4:27.
Tom's back with the weekend sports wrap-up.
It was a busy weekend on the basketball courts, and for the varsity teams, a productive one to boot. The Lady Wolfhounds swept the Sembach Tigers, downing them 50-43 on Saturday and 63-60 on Sunday. The men also swept Sembach, knocking them off 86-64 on Saturday and 65-57 in a defensive struggle on Sunday. The varsity basketball teams are on the road this weekend as they travel to Bitburg to take on the Barons. In the Youth Basketball League over the weekend, both the Bantam and Junior divisions played a trio of games. In the Bantam division, the Mavericks wiped out the Lakers 22-6. The Bulls edged the Badgers 10-8, and the Lakers hammered the Badgers 18-6. In the Junior division, the Bulls shaved the Mavericks 18-14. The Celtics mowed down the Magic 13-6, and the Bulls down the Magic 10-6. Two teams remain unbeaten, the Mavericks with a 2-0 mark, and the Bulls who've won all three of their games. The Youth Basketball League is back in action the 18th, beginning at 9 in the morning. We'll have intramural results from tonight's basketball games for you Wednesday evening, but for now, that's it, that's all. I'm Staff Sergeant Tom Swanson, AFN Sports.
One final note in sports, we'd like to congratulate our own Staff Sergeant Gene Bell. He is the 198-pound world powerlifting champion. We'll have more on that on Wednesday night's Community Newsroom. But for tonight, on behalf of all of us here at TV 18, have a nice evening.
A 7-panel jury convicted Sergeant Ralph Washington III of assault and battery, simple assault, and disorderly conduct. The conviction stems from an incident in Amsterdam last year. Washington was sentenced to a bad conduct discharge, reduction to Airman Basic, and total forfeiture of all pay and allowances. Christmas came early this year for a commissary employee. Lieutenant Colonel Dale Collins presented a commendation and a check for over $2,700 to Mr. Hendrik Kamp on Friday. Mr. Kamp, a defense commissary employee, created a computer program that reduces the workload in 76 European commissaries by automating a control log that was previously done manually. The base also received a gift on Friday. The town of Soest threw us a party. Staff Sergeant Tom Swanson was there.
A hangar full of both Dutch and Americans got together to celebrate their last Christmas as neighbors. Many of Soest's town councilmen were in attendance, as were the 32nd Fighter Group Commander, Colonel Bill Hodgkins, and Soesterberg Air Base Commander, Colonel J.B. Onsink. The party was hosted by Soest's mayor, the Honorable Hans de Witt.
Because of our American friends are leaving Holland, and especially Soesterberg Air Base, and we regret you are leaving us after about 40 years staying here in Holland. And we say it will be a good thing to have here last Christmas party Holland with our American friends.
Booths serving a variety of foods and beverages were set up, manned by smiling members of the Soest community. As for entertainment, there was no lack of it, as a host of performers got a chance to strut their stuff and blow their own horns. Everyone eventually got in on the act and enjoyed the fun, demonstrating once again the closeness shared between visiting Americans and their extremely hospitable Dutch hosts.
Still ahead, the world powerlifting champion and other sports. But first, let's take a look at the weather.
Tonight it will be overcast and drizzly and a low of 38 degrees. For Tuesday, the overcast and drizzly conditions will continue till noon, then go to mostly cloudy skies. A high Tuesday of 40 degrees. It will be windy Tuesday night with mostly cloudy skies and passing showers, a low of 35 degrees. Wednesday doesn't bring much change, mostly cloudy skies with increasing clouds throughout the day and rain and drizzle likely. High of 40 degrees for Wednesday. Sunrise for the next 2 days, 8:45, sunset at 4:29.
The 32nd Fighter Group's last annual award banquet will be on the 13th of January, 1994 at the Dutch Officers Casino in Soesterberg. I'd like to invite all of you to come and encourage you at this time to see your first sergeant or me to get your tickets. We're limited this year to about 200 people, and I ask that if you're going to go, you see somebody to get a ticket as soon as possible.